Previously, a weird octopus creature claimed to destroy the moon into a crescent. The creature says that he also plans to destroy Earth next year. He then asks the Japanese government to let him teach students in the 3E class of Kunigigioka School. The government let him become a teacher there so they can monitor him, and train the students there to kill the creature to prevent him from destroying the Earth. Because he has super speed ability, it's almost impossible for anyone to kill him, even when they have a chance to attack him from an extremely close range. Despite their efforts to kill that creature, the yellow octopus proves himself as a good teacher. He can motivate his students to be the best version of themselves. The relationship between students and teachers in the 3E class is getting closer, although they sometimes still try to kill that thing. The octopus immediately gains his students' respect and they even give him a name, and start to call him Koro-sensei. One day, when he finishes shopping, the disguised Koro-sensei sees a sexy woman being harassed by three guys in front of the shop. Koro-sensei helps the woman by locking the three people in the car. Later, the woman thanks him and asks for directions to Kunigigioka School. Later in the 3E class, Kurosama introduces that lady as the new English teacher Irina Yulavich. The class realizes right once that Koro-sensei is drawn to her mostly because of her exposed busts. In return for the prior appreciation, Irina appears to be in love with him. The students know that those are just Irina's acts, because no normal person will find a weird creature like Koro-sensei attractive. It is later revealed that Irina is a professional assassin who is hired to kill Koro-sensei. Irina had proved her ability to kill anyone from all around the world and is said to be able to speak multiple languages. However, she has to act like a teacher to clear others' suspicions. Irina approaches Koro-sensei with various demands throughout the morning. She persuades him to place an order for Vietnamese coffee at lunch, and Koro-sensei immediately travels to Vietnam. Once Koro-sensei leaves, Irina abandons her act in front of the students and expresses her certainty in killing Koro-sensei. She tells the students that she is a professional assassin. She also demands Nagisa and the entire class to provide her information about Koro-sensei's weaknesses. To kill Koro-sensei, she also brings three men to help her prepare the ambush. Those men are the same man who previously assaulted her in front of the market store. All in all, Irina spends her time in that school planning her assassination and doesn't teach those students anything. Her attitude puts off the class. The students don't like her. During her first lesson, she recalls her conversation with Nagisa who tells her about Koro-sensei's high sensitivity to any kind of smell. Nagisa advises her to not smoke if she wants to kill Koro-sensei. Knowing that Irina has no intentions to teach them anything, the class starts to complain and even calls her a bitch. The following day, when Koro-sensei shows up again, Irina invites him to the storage shed for a private time. The class and Kurosama see Irina lures Koro-sensei to that storage room, wanting to know whether she can kill Koro-sensei. On the pretense of undressing herself, Irina hides while Koro-sensei is being fired upon by a variety of light machine guns. Coming out of her hiding spot, she is surprised to find her henchman unconscious and Koro-sensei completely unharmed. Koro-sensei then tells her that he knows her intentions from the start, and deliberately jumps into her trap. He also tells Irina that those bullets can't injure him. Koro-sensei punishes her by grooming her, dressing her into a gym outfit, and doing that thing with his tentacles. Back in the class, Irina still doesn't do her job and doesn't teach anything to the students. She mocks them and offers them half of the prize money if they help her kill Koro-sensei. The class completely lost respect for her. Later in the staff room, Irina complains to Kurosama and tells him that she has no experience in teaching and therefore can't do it. Kurosama then tells her that everyone in 3E class lives with two identities. For example, Koro-sensei does his teaching job wholeheartedly even though he is also an assassination target. Kurosama then tells her if she still wants to attempt killing Koro-sensei, Irina should adjust her life in that classroom and starts to take her teaching job seriously. Later on, when she finally walks back to the classroom, Irina starts to teach the students seriously, and apologizes for her actions. She uses provocative sentences as examples, and tells the students that she will teach them conversational English. The class then starts to call her bitch sensei as a sign of their acknowledgement for her. Outside the class, Koro-sensei tells Kurosama that he is happy his students get a chance to practice a language with a real foreigner, stating Irina could be the best foreign language teacher they have. The next day, when the class has a science class, one of the shyest students in the class called Okuda attempts to poison Koro-sensei. She is too naive, asking Koro-sensei to drink her poison in front of the class. Okuda tells Koro-sensei that because she can't do anything like fighting, she decides to use her other talent to kill Koro-sensei. Koro-sensei drinks Okuda's three poisons. Except for its effects causing Koro-sensei's face to change into various weird appearances, those poisons aren't harmful to Koro-sensei. Koro-sensei then tells Okuda that it will be dangerous to make poison in the school and offers to help her find an effective formula that can kill him. Okuda agrees happily. After that, when she is with Koro-sensei in the lab, Koro-sensei praises her talent in science. Okuda then shares her insecurity, telling Koro-sensei that although she is good at science, she finds her language skill disappointing. Before the end of that additional science class, Koro-sensei hands her a paper, telling her that it's her homework and she should create the poison based on that formula. The following day, Okuda hands over that poison to Koro-sensei, who immediately drinks it. However, it turns out to be a tonic that gives him the ability to change into a faster liquid form. Koro-sensei is getting even stronger and faster than usual. Koro-sensei then gives Okuda motivation, once again praising her talent in science but also advising her to improve her language skill. Koro-sensei says that language is also a power. One can't kill him by acting naive like Okuda, and he hopes Okuda will get better at communicating her feelings. Later, Class 3E is forced to travel from their outcast class building and head to the main building to endure a school assembly. On their journey to the main building, they have to endure various challenging situations from the mountainous forest. Kurasama and Arina also come with the students. However, Koro-sensei has to stay in the old building because it will be risky if all the students know of his existence. Karma chooses to skip that assembly because he is too lazy. During the assembly, the students from other classes become envious due to Class 3E having Kurasama and Arina as cool teachers. However, it's obvious that all school students, even the teachers, underestimate Class 3E students. As an act of discrimination, they don't even provide any school handouts for Class 3E. Koro-sensei then disguises himself as a scholar and attends that assembly to show his support for his students, providing extra copies of handouts previously not given to Class 3E. Later, after the assembly, Nagisa is bullied by other students from the main building. Koro-sensei stops Kurasama from helping Nagisa, believing that his students are strong enough to handle those bullies by themselves. With his experiences in Class 3E, Nagisa is now braver and can stand up for himself. The following day, as the midterm test is getting closer, Koro-sensei makes a bunch of clones to assist all his students privately. He says that he does it because every student has a different area of expertise and needs. Koro-sensei wants to help them prepare for the subjects they are still lacking. It's tiring for him, but he seems to do it happily. Later on the same day, Gakuho Asano, the school's principal, visits Class 3E to greet Koro-sensei. He explains that he has a special system in that school that will allow 95% of students to work hard. Class 3E is an essential part of his system as motivation for other students to study hard if they don't want to end up in that outcast class. Asano tells Koro-sensei to follow his educational philosophy, stating that students of 3E aren't allowed to stand against students in the main building. The 3E class students should remain the worst and weakest to make this system work. Koro-sensei doesn't give up. The next day, he is shown to double up his clones to help his students prepare for midterm tests. Noticing the students of Class 3E only care about the bounty reward rather than getting high grades, Koro-sensei asks the students to gather in the school field, where he turns himself into a big tornado. He tells them that students who have no plan B in their life, and rely only on the bounty reward, don't deserve to kill him. So when they don't get the bounty reward, they still have good grades to survive in society. Koro-sensei issues the ultimatum that if any of the students fail to perform well enough on the midterm exams to rank among the top 50 students, he will leave and destroy the school. On the test day, the Class 3E students approach each question on the midterm exams by using what they have learned through Koro-sensei's teaching methods. However, Asano's impromptu addition of questions without notifying Class 3E causes everybody to stop in their tracks. They can't solve any additional questions added by Asano. Only students in the main building can solve it because they have been notified about the change in that test scope. None of the students in the 3E class other than Karma ranked among the top 50 students. Koro-sensei blames himself because of this situation and starts to think that he should leave the class. The students provoke him, telling him that he is probably too afraid to stay. After receiving some encouragement from his students, Koro-sensei decides to stay and get their revenge on the final test. That's the end of part 2. You can find the next part in the description. We appreciate you sticking around to the very end. For the upcoming updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications. It means so much to us. Catch you in the upcoming videos.